Hello, everyone. I am the Aries. It has been some time since I've come here with a video, but well, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. And I just feel called to speak about some things. Now, as always, I'm gonna shuffle some cards, throw some cards, but it's only because it's cathartic, I suppose. Maybe I'll clarify. Maybe I won't. We'll see how it goes. Well, let's see. Oh, if anyone's wondering where I've been at lately, I've not been on camera, but I have been, on Reddit mostly. Help out on a micro level, people's personal problems or what have you. And of course, spiritual esoteric work, I still do. Throw your energies across the world. I am the divine upon this earth. And I understand that most people sit there and say that, and to an extent, we're all the divine, or we're all God, or whatever. Everyone's a one, but only one person is the one. Guess who that is? Oh, me. Anyway, before I begin, shout out to some people that I know. Check out their channels. Rochelle from Inviting Possibilities. Also, Broken Key Oracle. Check her out. Friend of mine from Rochelle's. Actually, I usually hang out there, one, to practice my energies. I am in my center energy there. And I hang out there just to have a good time. I'm even on my best behavior. Such as it is. Do I have any other shout outs? Oh, I guess I'll give a shout out to other Aries poster and commenter on Reddit. Probably the only person I actually liked on there. I mean, well, the only person that's really new. Reddit is just not the hub for all things spiritual because of its format. Too much anonymous bullshit. And like I've said before, we need our own platform. Let's see, what do I want to talk about? A couple things, really, I guess. First up, Ukraine. Now, I've said before, even before this war began, that the angelic host was in this world. Heaven's army, angels from all parts of the creation, whose job is justice. They're here on this earth at this time because there's a lot of justice that needs to occur. As far as Putin goes, authoritarianism won't be carried forth into the new earth. As it is, the concept of nations is going to change. I mean, it has to. These nations, they don't benefit the whole of humanity. So you're probably going to see a world with more open borders. Now, some people don't like this. Some people want the status quo. Some people want to vote in a wannabe dictator who sits there and says he'll be a dictator for one day on day one. As if you'd ever trust a dictator to step down. Oh, I am, of course, talking about Donald Trump. And Well, I've said before, there's a sword, there's a shield, and there's a hammer. Putin's getting the sword. He wanted this. He wanted to go in this war. He started this war. He's getting the sword. Xi of China will have that hammer if he dares to go into Taiwan. Don't do it, Xi. Don't do it. And America loses its shield if Trump gets in power. Smarten up, people. Now, I'm aware that most spiritual people don't talk about these things, but I'm not most spiritual people. And I don't want to be most spiritual people. They didn't come here to do what I came to do. If you recall, I had a dream about that. I don't know what video it was, like one of my earliest videos. You know, it's like, I don't know. Just not going to get along with anybody and everybody. Not going to talk about the same thing that others talk about. It's just not my path. But I don't want to sit there and keep talking about me. Putin, how many lives is he throwing away? Because he wants power. The Tsar without clothes. And I've said from the beginning that he's going to break Russia before he breaks Ukraine. Ukraine is being divinely guided in this war. Now, I don't know how exactly things play out in the 3D. I don't know exactly what will happen in a 3D, how it would happen in a 3D. But I do know that Putin won't win. He can't win. It doesn't matter how much he tries. He can't win because he won't win. Because what he wants is something that the divine does not want. We want to end to this authoritarianism. We want to see freedom. And he doesn't offer that. He doesn't. He offers nothing to the world. He doesn't really offer anything to his people. Hopefully they'll wake up. You know, you may see civil war in Russia. You probably will. Russian winter is actually coming. You'll see a lot of movement then. Because the people of Russia deserve to be free. Ukraine has a right to exist. Russia does not own Ukraine. The sun shines on Ukraine. That lets you know that the divine is behind it. 100%. Putin will not win because he cannot win. And Xi, if you go into Taiwan, it's not going to look good for you. It's not going to be good for China. Which would be a shame with the CCP in charge. But you're no better than Putin. You're no better than MAGA. You're no better than the Saudi royal family. You're no better than any Middle Eastern. Well, you're no better than Taliban. And these are all forms of the devil. The Taliban, the way they treat women is just pathetic. They're doing it because of their culture. They're doing it because of their religion. It's got to stop. Now on the 30 level, you're not going to really see another war in Afghanistan. The time for Afghanistan to claw the darkness because of that war is past. What's going to have to happen is that Taliban is going to have to die out on its own. So, if I could say one thing to the women of Afghanistan, don't have Taliban babies. Let this shit die out. It is one way you can fight. And the same thing is going to happen for a lot of these other places, that misogynistic places. I am thinking of, well, to a lesser extent, Japan and South Korea. I mean, they have other issues as well, I suppose. Working to death, stressing, work, 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 work. You do that, you're sitting here saying you don't want an increased population because people shouldn't have to work to death. We want to go for a cashless society where money doesn't have value. And we can do that. We've got technology now. We could cure so many diseases. But I was reading an article today, 13 families own $8 trillion, dollars, 135 people, or something like that, own $8 trillion dollars of the wealth. Now, you don't get that kind of, you don't get to have that kind of money being on the up and up. You just don't. So you're going to see movement towards that. I don't know how that's going to play out. I've told you all about the dream I had about corporations or whatever. There's something to that, but we'll see how that goes. Let's see, what else? Oh, one thing I really want to speak on that I think is going to be the litmus test for religions, to be the litmus test for a lot of people, a lot of cultures, a lot of societies, whatever, is treatment of the trans community. Now, everyone, regardless of gender, has masculine and feminine energies. The soul has both these energies. Before we get here, the soul exists there. Equal parts of energy. When we come down here, those energies, we still have masculine and feminine energies, but they're in different parts of our lives. In the physical form itself, or in the emotional, in the spiritual. Everything balances out. So, and the common denominator between trans people, cis people, men, women, whatever, is that we're all humans first. We are all human first. So start treating people like humans. Treat people like you want to be treated. Because I'm going to tell you right now that all this bullshit treatment towards the trans community, that's going to be addressed. And it should be. And you religious people can sit there and cry all you want about, oh, blah, 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 God, this, blah, blah, blah. Well, you don't know God. It's like I've said before. Religious people put their faith in the words of man. Spiritual people put their faith in the acts of the divine. In one way, shape, or form, you're going to sit there and you're going to have a question. You're going to be made to choose hatred or love. Remember how I'm one way the divine will do this. Do you remember you got a racist dad or whatever, his daughter comes home with a black man or whatever, and they have a mixed child, and that racist grandparent, he's going to be confronted. Do I hate this child more? Well, do I hate this child who's mixed race? Or do I love this child who's my blood, my kin? And that's how the divine is going to play this out. You will be confronted. What's greater, your hatred or your love? Choose wisely, people. On the board, we have the Seven of Cups, the King of Swords, Three of Swords, and the Page of Swords. Ah, that's a lot of swords. Clarify those swords, please. Got the World. No, I'm not going to clarify it. I'm just speaking on things today. I really don't know what else to say on this video. Stop treating people like bullshit. Stop all the dumb shit you keep doing. Love people. It's not that hard to do. You waste a lot of energy being hateful. That's energy that could be used for so many other places. so much good in this world. We can do so much for this world if we chose love and cut out all the bullshit that causes all the heartache. Put some efforts into it. You want to love or do you want to hate? That is the question. And I think I'm just going to leave it there. If I can get one more card before I leave out. Something to go out on. Strength. Have strength. The world will get better. It might get a little bit worse in the meantime, but, you know, it all works out. But we can quicken the healing if we stop the bullshit. Treat people like you want to be treated. Love one another. It's just that simple. You don't have to make it hard. Until next time, I am Aries. Oh, that is Ace of Coins. Let me stop trying to flip shit. Goodbye, everyone. Later.